Well, hello there. Good evening and welcome. I hope you've had a great holiday. Well, your holiday is about to get better because it's time for Strong and Sassy. You're so welcome. This is your Super Station Joy 99.7 FM. And my name is Animwaa. Anim-Addo. We'll be doing this until 8 o'clock. And today's conversation, well, has already started getting us into trouble. So we're just going to be brave and have it anyways. Today we're asking the question, can a woman be the head of the family? And to have this conversation with me as three amazing women, Anim-Addo, she's a consultant, international trade law expert. I also have Caroline Koko Ahokonu. Did I say it properly?
Excellently.
Okay, awesome. She's a lecturer at the marketing department of UPSA, and I have a third guest who I pulled out of her car, even though she was not going to come to the show, but she's here, Esinam Batali, as well. So those are the ladies that we're having the conversation with tonight. I'd love to hear what you think. I've already seen so many of your posts on Facebook, but I'd love for us to get interactive. The WhatsApp line is 055 11 11997 055 11 11997. And the question is, can a woman be the head of the family? Good evening, ladies, and welcome.
Good evening, Animwaa.
Good evening. You guys okay? Did you have a good holiday?
I did. I mean, I just finished recording a podcast with my best friend.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we just
what's
finished.
it about?
Oh, we're just talking about vibes and inshallah.
Oh, interesting. How was yours?
I was cool in the morning. I had a class, and then the rest of the morning was just relaxing with the family.
Oh, that's
and
really
then preparing
nice.
for Strong
For
and
tonight's
Sassy.
show.
Strong and Sassy.
Awesome. Mami is just being mic'd, so she'll be here any second now. So what you guys think? Can a woman be... Esinam, let me start with you. Both of you are going to have to put your phones down. Though.
Yeah. I wanted to read something.
Can a woman be the head of the family? Will you start, Isi?
I mean, yes, anybody can be the head of the family, provided the person is in the position to supply what the family needs. Whoever has more gives more. So in that material moment, if the woman is the one with the resources to hold the family down, then she's the head of the home in that particular moment. If the man is the one with the resources to hold the family down at that point, it's his direction that will follow. So I've never been one to gender. I mean, we all know that and I've said it several times here, that I don't think there should be power dynamics in relationships. However, I think that if someone is leading the home, it's about the resource, what's needed, who has it. So what's needed at this point? Who has it at that point? That person is the one steering the ship at that point. So if it's time that's needed, if it's skills that's needed, if it's money that's needed, whoever has that at material moment leads. Okay, so the person is the head, not by default or not by gender, but by the fact that functionality. If we're in a home, we're in a partnership, we're taking care of our home together. If you are the one with the resources at that particular moment, you're the one leading.
Okay, I don't know if people put leading and head as the same, because from a lot of the comments that we had, and a lot of them were from men,
obviously,
you can see that it's not about who is leading or who has more, but it seems to be maybe more of a ceremonial position of headship. So Caroline, let me take your views, and then I'll just read some of the comments that we had when we posted the topic out.
Yeah, so can a woman be the head of the family? I will say, first of all, a woman can lead when she's forced into that role by emergency. Let me just put it that way, by emergency.
Okay.
Because we know the original thing from the Bible, that God is the head of Christ, and then Christ is the head of man, and then the woman follows. So the woman, originally from the Bible, it is she is not the one supposed to lead. It's the man who is leading the woman. And also, of course, we were made from the man, and so naturally the man is supposed to lead. So we are supposed to allow the man to lead. But sometimes we are forced into those roles by emergency. And so we can look at what will cause a woman to lead at a particular point in time. So maybe the husband has traveled and he delegates. So we lead. In that case, you are leading through delegation, and he has given you that authority. Okay. And then we can also lead through influence, how we go about things in the house with the children and even with our husbands. Nicely through submission, we are able to lead. And so we are able to do this based on the man giving us even that authority, okay? Giving us the go-ahead to do so. I think I'll introduce myself with this.
Conflicting views already. This should be interesting. Esinam breathe. Esinam's like, no. Mama joins us. Hello. It's been so long. Yeah, good to see you too. So you already know what we're talking about. I don't know if you missed the beginning. I don't think that you did you?
I most likely did because I was struggling to park.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, so we've dived into the conversation. Can a woman be the head of the family? So I'd love to hear what you think, just initially, and then we'll break it down.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to can somebody do something, the possibility is there, because when there's anyone can at some point, even a child in the family can rise up to the occasion if it presents itself. But I think the most, because I saw the comments underneath the flyer online, and people were like going in, and I think it's really because of how people also define what it means to be the head.
Yeah.
And I think that it's less about hierarchy as it's more about responsibility.
Yeah.
If it's looked at properly. So can a woman be the head? Yes, but I think it has to be also understood in the context of what you mean by head.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we do that? Let's start with what do we mean by head? Of that? Because listen, Esina, whatever it is, you can't run away from the fact that in Ghana, there's always that, head of the family, head of the house, head of the da-da-da-da-da. So for you, Esinam, what does it mean for somebody to be the head of the family?
I think I said that in my explanation earlier. Sort of gives you the idea of what I think when it comes to some headship.
So for you, headship is leadership.
For me, headship is leadership, steering the boat, right? Influencing people to do things that they ordinarily wouldn't have. Or even if they would have, it's about direction, providing direction to those who would have. And I think that in a home, just much like any other institution, it's whoever has the resource, whoever has more gives more. Whoever has the power at that material moment to cause things to happen, provide a direction. Whoever is more knowledgeable in that field, whoever is more. That's why I don't think that there's a static head of the home. I think that anybody in the moment of the family, okay, so currently we have a daughter, or we've given birth, fresh. Your mother-in-law can be leading the home because at that particular moment, you all are clueless about taking care of a child. So that person comes, that family's time right now is focusing on the newborn baby, and the mother-in-law comes in to direct, do this, do that. At that particular time, she is the head of the home because it's her direction that everybody's following.
Okay, so for you, headship is leadership and
and providing direction.
Directionship.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. What's about
you? To add to that, now what are we? We lead for a purpose. I mean, we lead because there is a purpose. There's something to be achieved. And so if the man is the leader, we have to ask ourselves, what is the purpose? What is he leading? Okay, so he's leading in what's creating a family and forming the unit of a country. Exactly. So if that is the basic purpose, he's taking decisions. Every decision that concerns the welfare of the family, it is the head of the family who takes it. And now I have said the man is the head originally from God's plan. Exactly. Unless the woman is forced into that role by emergency, or maybe the husband has died. Exactly. So to me, leadership is defined by the purpose, whatever is being achieved by the head, that will define the kind of leadership that you give to the family.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Mommy, what's about you? So for you, what's the head?
So yeah, I mean, I look at the head as so in the marriage context, family dynamic. Definitely, I'm going to be a little more traditional and say that I believe that the man should play that role. I say this because, and I know I'm again Joe or something like me, but I think it should be static, like it should be set in stone. I say this because of structure. Now, the idea of leadership has little to do with hierarchy, as it has to do with order. In the sense that when you look at God the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, if you look at it from the spiritual context, right?
Yeah.
If you
It's
pay,
not about hierarchy.
if you
Because
pay
they're
attention,
equally important.
it's about
more
it's
structure and- yeah.
structure, so the relationship can be effective. Because then in the household, if you have two visions, you have division. That is why it's very big that even for a woman, before you decide who you're going to share your life with, you must understand that you are going to relinquish a little bit of your will.
I always say, just don't marry an idiot. Because, I mean, I've said this so many times, right? Just don't.
Because it's like any. You have ECOWAS, you have AU, you have the UN. Whenever you join any form of integration union, you're going to give up some level of sovereignty. That's your your ability to make your own decisions. It's not going to be about the collective.
Oh, I missed you so much. Yeah, I missed your English.
I know we used to have our debates on the Friday, right?
Yeah.
But I really feel like it's that is why. For the man, I think that the reason why it's never about who is stronger. That's why it's not even based on, I don't think it's based on money or who has any financial strength at that time. It's just to have order. And for the order to happen, that is why it's so big that you have a structure where it's like the head is there, the neck is there. But the head knows that the neck is also very relevant.
Yeah.
And so that's why with the leadership thing, it's about service. In fact, the more when you have the leader, even though in the order thing it looks like the leader is here, usually the leader is actually here. 'Cause the leader is serving everybody else.
Not in Ghana. Oh.
That's the thing. When I saw the comments, I was like, never. I was like,
I just want to say that I never want to be the head of my household because it's too much work. I'll be tired.
I was about to say, like,
I'm very happy to concede the headship title.
Wonderful.
If it means that you change the light bulbs, when the children are sick, you take them to the hospital. When I'm sick,
is that leadership though? Is that the headship
yeah,
though?
that's the headship. So
It's about serving.
you said you are the head. So like, I mean, I don't if the family doesn't have money, do you understand? I can't be thinking about how we get money. You're the head, so you want to figure it out. I mean, why not? I just want to like lie in bed.
Baby girl treatment.
Yeah, complete baby girl treatment.
Anyway, the head is also, apart from providing, he's also protecting.
Yeah.
Okay, so now to understand why someone would say a woman will actually go all the way to say a woman can lead. It's because of the modern woman. You know, we have many women who are very economically empowered. They are working very hard. They are even earning more than their husbands. And so if the husband is given a laissez-faire leadership at home, or it also depends on their personality. Personalities at play. The woman could be a choleric and the man could be a phlegm.
Yeah.
Now, the choleric woman is working so hard.
yeah.
She's more economically empowered, financially empowered. And the man is a phlegmatic, a laissez-faire, doesn't want to spend a lot. The woman automatically would take over the leadership because she will. And we have some men like that.
But I'm not
they actually
interrupting you.
spend outside. At home, they don't spend at home.
The issue is not so much the leadership, because when you read the comments and what is worrying those who are commenting and stuff, it's not that this person's leading in or this person's leading in. I feel like a lot of the comments reflect the fact that men don't mind being at home and having the women leading issues, but I'm still the head.
Yeah,
like I'm still. So I don't
that
know
should
whether
be
it's a
respected.
question of ego. I don't know if it's a question of, because if you, for example, you say protection. if I'm married to some fianga man, protection-wise, it is me that will be beating the thieves and the armed robbers. So then why are you protecting me? Chances are you the man too. You don't pray. I'm the one who is up at midnight doing alpha hour. Hello, to Mr. Jim. I really love alpha hour. So what you see, what I really want us to discuss is the relevance of the head. I think for too long we say God's structure is perfect, but you, the men who are want to enforce that God-given headship. No? Are you headshipping like properly, or it is title that you want and you just want to relax?
You know, simply ego. Nims, it's just people just want the position as the head of the home, assuming no responsibility for it, and that's why I think that it should be scrubbed entirely, because it's of no use, of no material use at no point in time. It doesn't look. If you go to the Mokola market, all the women there hustling to, chances are 9 out of 10 of them are doing that to give to some man who is going to take it to Blue Kiosk. I promise you.
Where's Blue Kiosk?
The Akpateshi joint.
Serious.
Nine out of 10 women hustling in Makola and Agbogloshi are going to give it to someone who is going to take it to Blue Kiosk and come and claim I am the head of the home. In fact, if you were a man and you have to say that you are the head of the home, you have failed.
There was a pastor who said, I can't remember who it is, so I don't want to, because I can't remember. But he said that if you are judging your wife, the only people who judge their wife based on, oh, she can cook well, she can clean well, she can, is poor people. Because when you are rich,
none of that matters.
You want your wife for her mind.
None of that matters.
She has a chef. Charlie, run the chef system.
None of that matters.
Do you understand? But it's poor people. I can't remember which pastor it was. But then it kind of brings to mind that this headship. Anyway, okay. So what do you think, Mommy? I feel like I'm really over in the conversation.
No, it's fine. I think also like one of the things is that because of also our culture dynamic here, and realizing that. So I don't know how to say this without even sounding, but a lot of our African men haven't had a chance to have a sense of self outside the I am a man, I provide, I do this, even when they can't do it. So that is one of the big reasons why I even think that the church hasn't done enough with teaching the idea of headship in the concept of service. Because if you read about it, you're talking about the Bible. If you think, let's really break it down. It says that you should love your wife like Christ loved the church and gave his life. That
you
is,
give your life for me, then you can be
Adama. And giving your life is like it's pretty much becoming like the
nobody is willing. See, idealism and realism. Ideally, this is what should happen. A man should give his life for his family, per what the Bible says. They should literally lie on the railway tracks for their family to walk over them, right? Yeah. But if you come practical this Ghana, the amount of lazy men you would find outside who are just there because I am the head of the home. At least he knows that last he will go home and there's a meal on the table waiting for him to come and eat because he's the head of the home. He knows that he will say things and nobody cannot challenge him because he's the head of the home. We have taken advantage of that phrase to misbehave too much. Many men have taken advantage of that to misbehave. That's why I don't even believe in it.
Caroline, what do you think about what is Sinam saying?
Well, it's true. When the man feels I'm the head, it's actually feeding into his masculinity.
Thank you.
I'm the
toxic
masculine. But it's natural. It's a natural thing that God created. The man, no, not toxic, but she's facing reality, so I understand her. The man is naturally, masculine, and so when we allow him to lead, to protect us, to provide for us, he feels that ego we are boosting into. He feels happy. They feel happy when they provide for us. And women naturally we also love to receive. We are mainly we want to be. We are incubators. We are receivers. So when we allow them to lead by providing, by protecting, by leading us. Be heard by leading, providing, and protecting us. They feel happy, okay? But we also have the problem where most men do not really even understand how to be a man, how to be the head or the family. Exactly. So they are. So it's also, I think, it still comes back to the family. the raising of our boys to men.
Can I be controversial and say that
Yeah, go
even
ahead.
with women, and I see how you feel, but I think even we, a lot of even the African women, and let's say Ghanaian women, we've done our families a great disservice.
Yeah.
Because
back to the
we
family.
complain about the men not manning up, but
We
guess who?
raise our
When
boys.
they
I was
don't
just
raise-
going to say,
We
yeah.
and
actually
you know when
raise them.
you raise your son to
Exactly.
really be like that, to not really
Exactly.
step up, and then even guess what?
So it comes
when
back
you
to the
when you are
family.
choosing a partner and you meet a guy, right? Because we've also made in our society, we've made this relationship thing like, if women do not settle down, they're not enough, right?
Charlie?
Women will not allow a man to, even if he's not stepping up, right? Sometimes, you see, men are very interesting beings, because I realize that, with men, I don't think you must allow a man to come and step up to the plate. What a lot of women do is that because of desperation, right? We start filling the gaps.
Yep.
Oh, if I don't fill the gaps, it's going to
Yeah.
go away. If I don't
Yeah.
fill the gaps, I'll never get somebody. So you never even allow a man to fully evolve to be the man you want him to be.
Exactly.
So sometimes, even let's shift the conversation from even the men, right? Sometimes even we, because women are so powerful, you have no idea. And in fact, we've even reduced.
I do have a
Oh
very
yes,
good idea.
and we've reduced our power to even to even sexualizing our strength.
Yeah.
When our strength is really up here, and really how you can even convince
Yeah.
and even steer a man into his purpose
And
to be
things
the
like
one you want him to be.
intuition, and I mean, those are the most powerful.
We're not
tools that we
playing
have.
our role.
Yeah.
And because we're not playing our role, we are angry with the fact that we have a bunch of men who are also now being all, masculine and toxic. But guess what? People still want that. You say you want that. You want the man who's achieving and out there. That's what the people actually find more attractive. Women.
I mean,
But or you disagree with
so I think that we came from an era of hunting and gathering where the strongest person was leading, right? It was about the ability of a human being to bring food home. So the person who brought food home was the one who was hailed, right? And that was limited to strength. And so it was the men who were leading. But now we've come to an era where it is the mind that's leading, right? And men and women both have minds. And chances are that women are even smarter than men, right? But it's about the person who is using their mind to bring food home. Now it's about that. It's about who is working and who is bringing food home. And I don't want to limit it to just finances, because look, it's possible to be with somebody who earns far less than you, right?
But still has the mental force.
Exactly. It's
spiritual.
it's about even if I don't believe in hierarchies, like I've said earlier, but I think that it's two people who have decided to hold each other down and create something as a result. So I'm supporting you just as much as you're supporting me. My partner believes in me, and he's actually a big fan of me. Like, he's a huge fan of me, just as much as I am a huge fan of him. I respect him. We mutually respect each other. Like, nobody is in a hurry to be a head figure. Like,
So okay, let me ask a question. Who stands at the gate of the family? Like, who
must the
is-
family have a gate?
Every family has a gate.
Must the family have a
Unless
gate?
your family
Decision
put it up, which is a this.
We don't have money to build gates.
Please. Every family has a gate. So
We both stand at the gate.
so how will we sleep?
We both stand at the gate and we sleep there. We die there.
Okay, so as I was saying about the gates, so let's move this to let's move it to the spiritual side of the family. Let's say there's a gate. So whose responsibility?
So what's the definition of gate here?
Oh, a gate is a gate. This one too, there's definition.
So it's for
The one for protection.
who determines who comes and comes out, right?
Who what comes and what goes out? Who keeps watch?
Right.
Okay.
Who keeps watch?
Unless
I know where this is going.
unless the Lord watches the house, the labor in vain them now watch it.
So then
Thank
everybody
you.
should-
She
everybody
has,
should
she has
sleep.
answered
Then
the
there's no
question.
head.
That's
then.
it.
She
God
has
is the head of the home.
Then there's
Yeah,
no
but
head.
But I feel like the man should be the priest, because he should be the spiritual covering over the home. And I think that even spiritual covering doesn't necessarily mean that I pray 5 hours and you pray 2. There's no measure of that. But the covering is that he's spiritually aware of what's going on around, even with his kids, with his spouse. And that means he's in tune with the Spirit. Walking with the Spirit is never marked by religion. How many hours did you pray? How long did you read the Bible for? It's really like a man who has communion with God, right?
Yeah.
And can now, like, even sometimes the wife may be more in tune in that moment, but he will listen and say, okay, you feel something, eh? Let's pray about it. Like, so he's so in tune. Being the priest doesn't mean that you may know everything, but being the priest is that you're always aware to stand in the gap for your family.
So if you have married an unbeliever too, what do you do?
That one is up to you and an unbeliever manager. Because and that's why honestly speaking, like, before I used to downplay the essence of a man who has a genuine relationship with God. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who goes to church.
Yeah.
And who says they are Christian. Genuine relationship where they are actually on a journey to be a better person. And they are they're aspiring for that outside you. It has nothing to do with pleasing you. Thank you. It's really because a man for a man to even stay faithful, it takes the fear of God, not love.
Yeah.
So if a man's already on a journey to have a relationship with God, the way he shows up for you and the
It's
kids,
so different.
Very different.
I think as we grow older, the things that we begin to look for in men change. Because you are more aware that, okay, there are some, I believe that the sexes, men are better suited for things just by virtue of the way they were made.
Right.
As in, like, you can't really, I noticed when I had my daughter that when I carry her on my hip, she's snug, it fits. Then I'll be looking at my husband of the time. Like, he'll be struggling to find a part of his body that, curves in the right way.
Right.
So that they
It was so sad.
Right.
But then it made me realize that, okay, he can be taught to nurture and all of that.
Right.
And obviously he did.
Right.
But there's also things that are, I mean, a man is better suited to fill the petrol tank in snow just because he's better suited for it.
No.
Yes!
No.
Why not?
there are some exceptions to the rule.
Because every human being can do anything they put their mind
Except
to.
breastfeed.
Breastfeeding is it's a biological thing. You cannot. There's no alternative. But if it's about changing tires, it's about fixing bulb and changing batteries in smoke detectors, anybody can do it.
You thought it was a joke, right?
I get it.
No, you didn't. You really didn't.
Because I wasn't listening. All I heard was your malicious statement.
Wow.
I had to step in and defend the man there.
Okay, so let me take some of the messages. Let's see. I wanted to actually start with the Facebook ones, which was so interesting earlier on. I'm gonna find it in a second. Okay, there we are. So we posted the flyer, and these were the initial comments. The Bible has answered that question, and that can't be changed, no matter if the woman is richer than the man. For that matter, your question is dead on arrival. No woman. The English is important too. No woman can't be the head. BCS Bible talks about it. No man shall bowl before woman.
I saw that.
Only when a woman decides to ask the hand of a man in marriage and make. He says women are marrying men. No, you be there. Where from this discussion all started from what men can do, women can do better, but not this lane. No matter the condition of the husband, the woman can never be the head. This one says it's biblical. No matter how strong, powerful, and financially upright the woman may be, when the husband is alive, he's the head of the family. This one says small literacy has made people think they are wiser than God. Anytime I see women trying to claim headship when the man is not dead, the only explanation is that the devil is at work. I think for me, reading these messages, the question I wish I could ask is, what does the head mean to you? I mean, because I don't know. Anyway,
And the fact it's the fact that we assume everybody's Christian for me. Like,
yeah, but Ghana, I mean, most of us are Christians.
No,
I don't know if we are
But
practicing.
the other religions, Muslims also believe that the man is the head.
right.
He
But what if
provides,
you're
he
not
protects.
religious?
Okay, yeah,
I get your point.
So like,
but you know,
logically-
it's still a masculine thing. You see, the
And-
man still believes that
And
he's.
so we need to question it along the lines of masculinity and femininity rather than including religion and as a spiritual thing, because it's not everybody that's Christian, it's not everybody that's Muslim, it's not everybody that's religious. I may be agnostic and
Or
an atheist, and I think that, well,
As
I'm a
sure
human
an
being just as
atheist
much
also
as he is.
wants submission from the wife. I'm sure.
Why?
No,
So it's a
desperately
natural
want
thing.
submission from
it's,
I
it's
said,
not
it's
necessarily natural. I think sometimes it's also either socio-cultural or it's
Exactly.
also a socialization. Because I remember, I mean, when I lived in London, for example, it's very rare to meet that dynamic in the family of submission or head of that. You rarely, I mean, at least, you know, where the British people that I met, you rarely meet that push and pull of.
I'm the
It's
head.
really more
I'm
of,
the-
okay, you do what you can do best, I do what I can do
Africa
best.
for your purpose, Dodo.
Wow.
Your purpose, crowd.
Let me take some of the messages that came on WhatsApp. Yao says, good evening, ladies. Please, a woman cannot be the head of a family. Refer to the holy book. Furthermore, why is that? The people refer to the Bible when it suits them. The Bible says a lot of things. Oh, the Bible, I pray. Good evening, Nima. Thank God for your life. Please, no matter how much the woman has, cannot be the head of the family, because when the woman buys a gun, it's the man who keeps it. Again, not necessarily. I mean,
Again.
my boss's salary is half that of his wife, and their house, and the house that has been built, the house was built on the land that was bought by the wife. But it's the man who is leading.
How?
Okay. Ajiman Joseph, hi, good evening. To me, I think a woman can be the head of a family when she has that leadership character. Then also looking at a something state of leadership or hereditary rule. When the woman is next to rulership, automatically then the woman becomes the head. So, okay, Queen Elizabeth as a case study. So you see, but the thing is, Queen, and so the Queen's family, when she and Philip and she's the Queen, when she goes home, is Philip the head of the house, or
No,
is
bro.
Elizabeth the head of the house?
Elizabeth is the head of the family. The entire
Elizabeth was the
family.
head of the whole
The whole
nation.
The world died.
Exactly.
The world. I recently saw a poster of King Charles's buttons, and one was his shirt buttons had been, there was a mistake, so one part was longer than the other, and people said only few days without your mother. Look at your life. Few days without your mother.
Wow,
Look
that's
at your
so
life.
unfair. But I mean, anyway, yeah. Let me finish the messages. That was a good one, though. Make no mistake. Is it biblical for a woman to be the head of the family, even if she is the breadwinner of the house? No matter how the woman might be rich, that due respect and regard must be given to the man. I don't know if this generation we believe in due respect and regard as much as we believe in earned respect and.
We
Right.
believe in mutual respect.
I mean, like our
Little,
generation.
yeah.
Like, I was also gonna say, you know, you said something about like living in. Okay, you're still reading the comments.
No, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so you passed about when you were in London and stuff, right? And you made a very good point. Now, it's very interesting to also important to note that we come from a generation whereby a lot of our mothers were not necessarily as economically empowered as they are now, or as we are now, in terms of even information or education, right? So what submission meant then, okay,
Right.
had a lot to do with the lack of. So I can tell you, don't go anywhere. Well, guess what? You don't even have a car anyway, so you can't really
where
go.
are you going?
But now submission is. I think that the reason why submission is like a challenge now is because people didn't really define it well then, because it was defined within the confines of financial strength and stuff.
Yeah.
So you come and you submit based on serving or listening to your husband and everything,
Yeah.
right? Now in the Western culture, people still listen to their spouse.
Of course.
They consider their opinions,
Of
right?
course.
So submission is going on, but submission is a two-way street.
Thank you.
I don't think that, and that's why if you read even if you're going on the spiritual side, or even you cannot have a union or partnership where there isn't submission both ways.
Yeah.
Like a business, you have a sole proprietorship. What's the other one called? Limited liability, right? We all have shares. Everybody is submitting to something. Everybody is giving up something. The mystery of 1 + 1 is equal to 1. There's that
Yeah.
mystery
Yeah.
of, or the idea of unity. Let's
Yeah.
say, right? The oneness, right? European Union. There are all these states where you have one union. Everybody will relinquish something. Everybody will submit to something. And usually, I think that what the couple submits to more than each other, because you people are flawed, you must submit to the vision of where you people are trying to go.
Yeah.
And so when somebody is falling out of line,
Then the other person.
hey, you know what?
pulls them back.
Because we are submitted to where. That's why
Higher
even
purpose,
relationship.
bigger
That's why
vision.
relationships have to
Thank
be
you, thank
more
you.
about
Purpose
more than
than
love.
anything, yeah.
Yes, where are you trying to go?
Thank
as
you.
individuals, as a team, so that when we are falling apart, like women are not really
We are
staying in
falling
line,
out of line.
out of
Somebody-
line, exactly,
Yeah.
and that's why the struggle with the headship thing comes from a lot of poverty, as you even mentioned. But if you understand headship, it's a huge responsibility.
Huge.
And I think that even for men, as much as we encourage men to, as men desire it so much, if whether you are spiritual, you're not spiritual, whatever you choose to do in your partnership, hey, go for it.
Yeah.
If you're from the spiritual sense, you may want that the man should play that role. I would want that. And knowing that doesn't necessarily mean that you lord over your headship on me. That's
It
why
just means that when the devil is looking for me, he should come to you because you are the head.
yes.
Taking arrows,
Yes.
taking attacks,
Yes.
taking, and then me are the chill.
Yes.
For me,
Yes.
if you want the headship title,
Yeah.
then it's baby girl treatment.
You have to
all
play,
the
you have to
way.
take the responsibility.
Otherwise,
yeah.
if you won't take the responsibility, then you
Right.
can't have the title.
So to
Right.
add to that, so our focus should be
go ahead.
on
go ahead.
teamwork. Okay, on teamwork, we balancing each other on our strengths and our weaknesses. I think that will also help.
And still,
Right.
yeah,
I
okay.
agree.
Just 3 more comments from Facebook, and then I'm going to go for a quick break. Ephraim says, "Nice one, my sister. God bless you, Mommy Caroline." Adelaide says, "Women have the opportunity to change the narrative." Nomenyo says, "If you come to my home, you will see that I need to sack my wife. She's only good at insults." Oh, Nomenyo, Nomenyo, aola. Well, anyway, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll open the phone lines. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned in.
Just like how water refreshes you on a hot sunny day, a refreshing bath with Alive soap leaves you feeling fresh and brimming with confidence. Available in lemon, coconut, rose, and aloe vera. Alive soap. Feel fresh. Feel alive. This advert is FDA approved.
I bet you thought you've seen it all. You must have thought you've watched it all. Gomorrah is a new exciting series about the conflict that rises between the wealthy and the poor. Watch Gomorrah exclusively on Aquaba Magic, DSTV channel 150, Go TV channel 101, and Aquaba Magic Ebusian DSTV channel 149 and Go TV channel 108. With as little as 50 Ghana cedis on DSTV Access and 25 Ghana cedis on Go TV Value. Gomorrah. Emre Dane?
Join us celebrate greatness at the 7th EMY Africa Awards in association with Johnny Walker Blue Label on Saturday, 1st October 2022. Live from the Grand Arena, Accra, with performances from South African songstress Zahara, Kwabna Kwabna, Kamido, and Efe Grace. Red carpet starts at 6 p.m. Partners: Diaspora Affairs Office of the President of Ghana, GIPC, Joy Entertainment, Labadi Beach Hotel, Rhythms Africa, and DSTV Aquaba Magic. Sponsors: Goyle, NLA, Strategic Security Systems, Lucozade, Prudential Life Insurance, Arocha Ghana, Special Ice, and Rudin. This event is also supported by EY Ghana, Scent of Africa, South African Airways, Africa World Airlines, Bella Niger, Ambiance by Talata, BFT, Ghana Web, and the Grand Arena. For more information, call 020-201-8870.
So I have a question for you. Are you the head of your household? Are you the one taking the arrows, paying the bills, making sure everything is okay? What's the weight of the responsibility on your shoulders like? Or is it a ceremonial position? You there, your head, shouting orders with no responsibility. I'd love to know what your answer is. Call us. Why don't you? 0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. Okay, so I'm opening the phone lines, but Crispy joined the conversation and made a very good point about the fact that the definition of the head has been just something else. And then he concluded his speech with, if you are, what did he say? If you are the head, then
You stay on the cross.
stay on the cross
And die for me.
and die for
And
me.
die for
Do you feel
Take
like
all the arrows.
Yeah, take all that. Mommy, do you feel like, I mean, a lot of the men who fight for this headship actually understand what it actually means to be the head of another human being?
Oh no, and I also like I don't think so, and I think like he said when we're offline, but it's because of what has been, like I said, where we've come from as a society, right? Whether it's politically, culturally, we haven't had enough of these conversations as to what it means to be the head, and I think that's why it's so important in this generation, because there's so much exposure, and there's so much information out there, and for relationships to work effectively, we can take some of the things our parents did, but not everything, because the times are a little different. And right now, very different. It's very true. And now, in fact, there's going to be, for relationships to work now, you really have to now go back to what did this really mean? Because before we never ask questions. We're just told this is what it is. You are the head. You are submitting. Never asking what does a head mean? Okay, they love the woman like you love your own body. Like if you really know how they hardly preach that part.
No, they don't.
You rarely hear it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, because the more you do that, in fact, women are very interesting. That the more they feel loved, they easily just, it's like that like the royalty you expect.
Yeah,
you give them heaven.
It comes naturally, because women are doting, they are nurturers, right? So you can bring that out of a woman.
You are not a nurturer. Why are you eyeing her like that? Anyway, let me talk to Nana Kwesi.
I was in thought.
You were in thought, sorry. Hi, Nana Kwesi, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so what do you think, Nana Kwesi?
I tend to agree more with Isenam, and during the latter part, I'm kind of agreeing with some of the submissions that is coming. You see, anytime you mention the Bible, what's a case, you've spoiled the case, because, you see, there's a reality that we need to live, not perception. You see, two grown individuals are meaning they have sense, they have purpose, they have direction. They say they want to come together and have a life together. Why must someone tend to be superior than the other? I think it's teamwork, sister. It's teamwork. That's how it's supposed to be, honestly. If you have the resources, that shouldn't, at a particular time, that shouldn't make you automatically some superior something. Because at the end of the day, we are in this together. So if any decision is going to be made, whether you have the resources or not, it has to be discussed. And whatever decision that will be made has to come from both, not one, because you have the resources. It doesn't work that way. Then it's like, who has the friend is saying, you owe to me, at this moment, and he's the one who can do as it is. So, Charlie, the thing here, I blame all on tradition and religion. You see, you were saying something that men pray for that. It's not their fault, oh. Tradition and religion. You see, you people have been quoting the Bible. What is the Bible saying? That is what the Bible says. That is what religion says. So, when the boy child is born, that's how he's raised. So he goes with it. So do you want to blame him? Blame the genesis, the foundation. So when you are raising your boy child, let him understand that the woman that one day you go out with is also a human being that you have to talk to the person and agree to move forward. You don't go there as some God.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you so much for that. I think we have John on the phone. Hello, John.
Hello, yeah, good evening.
Hi, evening. What's on your mind?
Yes, about your topic. To put it simple, I'm a Christian, okay? And then and it's like most of you are saying Christian. When you go to the traditional side, it's even worse. But what I'm saying here is that the man is the head, because you, the lady, according to my Bible, is saying that you are from me, and the Lord has made it so. So you being the helper, you see, and maybe you are rich, you are the president as a woman, doesn't make you a head over the man in the house. You see, it's a spiritual and a physical thing. So you have to recognize that the man is the head. That's what God says, whether we like it or not. Okay, so this thing of, I'm the one taking care of the house, paying the bills, so automatically me, the woman, I'm the head. No, it doesn't work like that. He said you are the helper. So if the man doesn't have, you should be in position to help the man and make the man stand. So you don't take that position as the head.
Okay, thank you so much for that, John. Can I just say that if you're going to call and use the help meet argument, let me give you some ammunition. The word help meet, the Hebrew word for it is, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, it's Isa something something. What it actually means is that you are the same but actually better. So if it is iPhone 8, the help meet definition is that it's iPhone 8 Pro Max. So the helper connotation is not that, oh, you are doing and somebody's coming to help you. The person who's come to help you actually knows better than you, which is why they are able to help you. Which I think that's probably why then in the New Testament there comes that balance of submission, because from the get-go, the creation of woman is that she's actually better equipped. There's you and then there's the better version of you. So don't use the help meet argument. Because if you use the help meet argument to make the points that you should be the head, then you are saying, okay, you are the head, but the woman is better than you. Because the root word of help meet is you know, but a better version. Anyway, so yes, send your offering to Momo number
0552566311.
So that's it. Okay, let me take a few messages. Joseph says, nice topic, and I'm much in love with Caroline's submission. Headship of the family is not title or position. It's a privilege by ordinance. When we take, this is a different one, when we take Bible out, don't even forget our culture does not permit a woman to lead a home. The host talks about when she was living in London that British men weren't complaining about leadership at home, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a system in place to permit the couples not to stress each other. But when you come to Ghana, a woman expects you to be in charge of everything, and to her you are a leader. You will mostly hear a lady say you are the man, but here you are fighting for headship when we're not actually fighting for headship. The topic is a non-starter. We should embrace nature and move along than thinking we are more educated, so things have to change. Well, thank you for all your opinions. I'm going to give my guests the chance to kind of just wrap up on their thoughts, and then we're done. Next week, we'll be talking about something else. So if you're in your house and you're angry, then you have to use the anger to bend the sea, because here they are. Mama, do you want to start us off with the wrap-ups?
Yeah, I think a lot has been said, and as you rightfully said, when you talk about the helper, women are just dynamic creatures that God created, and I think that in the idea of a partnership, like I mentioned earlier, it's very important that even in a team, yes, you have a team lead, but then I think that any wise team leader knows that they don't know everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's somebody who is stronger in one area than the other. But I think that one thing I'll just leave with everybody is that relationships work better when you're all submitted to one vision, knowing that it's not about who is superior over the other. It's about the fact that you both are trying to accomplish your purpose, and the team purpose has to be accomplished when both of you are in sync. And whoever you decide in your house should be leading, whether you are Christian or you are not Christian. Understand that leadership doesn't mean that you lord it over the other person. It's service. And when somebody serves, doesn't mean that you now look down on your leader because he's serving. But we are both serving each other. And that's the power of submission to one another. And that's what I'll leave with everybody. Thank you.
Nice one. Thank you, Mommy. Caroline.
Yeah, I believe this topic came up because there are some realities on the ground. There are instances where we've seen women actively taking care of the home. And so we want to say that it's actually the woman who is leading the home. But God's original plan is God's original plan. So let's give the men what is there for them. Their original role as leaders is for them. But we will complement them. We will help them to meet those roles or to play their leadership roles. And we also have to apply wisdom. Men, both men and women. Husbands should apply wisdom in leading. And wives should also apply wisdom in supporting that leadership role. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Caroline. Islam.
Africa for purpose. As Ghanaians, we're so fixated on titles and leadership, and we want to be CEO of this and co-founder of this, and we don't want to assume the relationship and the responsibilities that come with the leadership position we so actively want to fight for. look, as Africans or as Ghanaians, I think that we should subject ourselves to learning. We should open our minds to be enlightened. Let's learn why certain things were even said about the Bible, why certain things were put in place in the first place. Once you have that kind of understanding, that level of mind broadening, things like this won't matter to you. Like things like a power struggle in your home won't be necessary, because if you are a parent, you're a parent. Your child cannot tell you what to do. You are ahead of the child. You gave birth to the child. In that case, you lord over the child, but your wife is not your child. Okay, in that case, you cannot lord over your wife. Your husband is not your child. You cannot lord over your husband. Power dynamics reduce us to nothing. As humans as we are, yes, we have the innate need for Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There is the self-actualization. There are esteem needs. As humans, we have esteem needs. We have things that we want. We want to be respected. We want to be honored, want to be hailed. But it's in every human being. If we make it appear like women don't have the need to be respected or to be considered as head, that's also very false. Every human being has that innate need. But when it comes to relationship, all issues of pride, power, ego should all go out of the window. You are two human beings who are living together. Take care of each other, love each other, respect each other, consult each other on decisions. You don't have the sole authority to do whatever you like. The other person too doesn't. Why do we actively want to be I am the head, I am the boss, when I say you must do? Why?
Okay, thank you very much, Isinam. And maybe something for you to think about why it's so important that you have the title as head. And also something to think about is why, if you're a woman, listen, why does it bug you so much that a man wants to be called a head? That's for you, Isinam.
Why does anybody want to be head?
I'm just saying, there's a lot to think about. Well, thank you so much for staying tuned in. Next week, we're talking about why do men marry? So yesterday, there's been, a lot of social media back and forth, and there was a post that was made about the fact that men don't always marry who they love. They marry for stability and for peace, and then there was the clap back of they marry for peace, but then they are cheating with this, and all of that. So we'll have that conversation. Why do men marry, or what do they think about? What are they using to pick their wives? That conversation is next week, so you definitely want to stay tuned in for that. May God give us life so that we're here to do that. Coming up next is the Overdrive. Thank you so much for choosing us. We're grateful. My name is Anim-Addo. Thank you to Mame, Caroline, and Isinam for spending your evening with us, and to you as well. See you next week. Be safe out there.